Assalamu alaikum students, welcome in computer class. Before starting today's class, I want to share the textbook that we follow in our course. That is the computer science for grade 10, the National Book Foundation, recommended by Federal Board. So we will follow this book. I also shared this book, the soft copy, with you. So let's start the first chapter, that is the programming techniques. Before starting the syllabus, let me share with you, like in the first term we will cover the chapter number 1 of this book, the chapter 1, chapter 2, 3 and 4, and in second term we will cover chapter 5, 6 and 7. We will follow this book, so you can use the soft copy if you have the hard copy as well, so that's fine. So in the first chapter, the table of contents, like we will cover the understanding the problem, algorithm and flowchart. These are the main areas that we cover in this chapter. So let's start from the problems, like what is problem? The problem that we face in our daily life. The solving the problem means how you can find out solution of your problem. Solving the problem is the main task of the computer science, which is the job of the computer programmers. The programmer must first understand how a human solves the problem, then translate it into a set of instructions in a programming language that computer can understand. So these are the general concept that's given in your syllabus, like what is the problem. But first we have to understand what is the problem. The problem either is a computer related problem or problem of your daily life. For example, you want to solve the question, you want to find the average of the numbers, so that's the problem. Like you're not feeling well, that is the problem. The question is that, like, how you can find out the solution, how you can solve the problem. So there are the different steps, there are different techniques that you randomly follow, but you didn't notice, like how you solve your problem. For example, if you're not feeling well, so you also solve this problem, but you didn't follow you didn't note down the points. Like you tell your mother, your parents, like you're not feeling well, you're in temperature, like the pain in your body, there's so many other symptoms like you have to detect. Then you visit to doctor and the doctor recommend you medicines like that. So by this way you solve your problem. Similar, let's suppose you're solving the mathematics question, you want to find out the average of the numbers. So you find out the way, like how we can get the average. Do you know the formula? Do you have the calculator, or can you do it manually? So these are the different steps that you perform in solving the problem. Similar, the computer programs is instructions. These are the set of instructions that tell the computer what to do and how to do. And these instructions are given by the programmer, you people, the users. But how you can design these set of instructions, first you have to know what is your problem and how you have to solve it, and then you design the instructions and give it to the computers. So in this syllabus we will cover these all things, like the first, how you can find out the problem, how you can find out the solution, how you can convert it to computer course, and how you can prepare a final software to solve your problems by using computer. So first thing, before solving the problem, you have to understand the problem. In understanding the problem, we have in the two major parts. The first one is the defining the problem, the second one analyzing the problem. Defining the problem means to know about the problem. Like you the mostly, like in your question paper, like define the following term, define the expression, define the velocity. So you have to know. Similar, defining the problem is a very initial stage of the problem solving. it is very important to understand the problem before the programmers start working on this solution. So how we can define our problems? So there are different steps that you have to follow while doing defining the problem. For example, carefully read the problems to understand what it tells. First, you have to read out the problem statements. Second, find out what the problem has to do. The third, what solution can be obtained from the problem. And the fourth one, what is required to calculate as the solution of the problem. Similar example, if you want to find out the average marks of the students, first you have to read it carefully. Define the average marks. It means you have to get to know the formula of average. You have the marks of the students, and then how you can calculate it. What's your requirements? The second thing is the analyzing the problem. At this stage of the problem solving, we understand the problem. In the first step, we know about the problem. In second, analyzing, we understand the problem. The programmers investigate the problems and gather as much as information to find the solution. Similar in the defining, in analyzing, also having the different questions like, is it possible to solve the problem on a computer? Like, is the problem from your daily life, like you can't perform on computer? Or it is something that you have to perform on computer? Like you are not feeling well, you can't solve this problem in a computer, but you have to find the average marks, so you can solve this problem on your computer. What is to be done to find the solution of the problem? What is the proper sequence of steps to solve the problem? What are the input and what output is required? Like in understanding, in analyzing, you have to know roughly in your mind like what will be your input and what will be your output. Like define the average. First we define it. In analyzing, we know the average should be, we take the average of numbers. Like the input should be numbers, is a 10, 20, 30, 40, and the output should be a number. So we have to know what is the input and what is the output. How many solutions are possible? Like there are more than one solutions to solve your problem. Similar, what solution is the best and why? Like which one is the best solution and what the reason behind you said this is the best way to solve this problem. How solution will be implemented? Okay, the solution is best, the solution is fine, but you have to implement that solution as well. So the first steps in problem solving, that is the defining the problem and analyzing the problem. Defining the problem means to know about the problem. Analyzing the problem means to understand the problem. The next thing is the solution. Like we understand the problem, we know about the problem, now we are going to toward the solution. So in this stage we have to prepare a proper plan. Is a planning the solution of the problem. The solution of the problem is the creative stage of the problem solving. You refer to dividing the solution into steps and arranging them into proper order that will solve the problems. Like it's a creative task. Like there are so many students, so every student having their own methods, their own skills to solve the same problem. Like I said, to find out the average marks of the students. Okay, this someone like if this is a very simple problem, you have to take the sum, the divide by the total number. You can find out the problem, the solution, the average marks. So maybe someone from you who first take the sum and then divide into separate formulas, and someone from you is perform the same all calculations in a one formula. So these are the two different things. So that's why the planning, the solution of the problem is the creative task. So everybody have its own plan to solve the